Hey, I'm Callie Lewis. You're watching Geek Brief TV. This is Brief 268, and I have a stocking filled with USB accessories. Before I empty the stocking, I have to show you this. We stopped at a convenience store on the way from Dallas to Lubbock on Saturday. Neil thinks it's me, but Neil's delusional. I think it's probably a character from a Pixar movie. What do you guys think? Anybody? Anybody? Want candy? Candy? Everyone already knows that any iPod from a shuffle to an iPhone makes a very, very nice, very generous stocking stuffer, so I'll keep my iPod recommendations short. My favorite iPod right now is the Nano. It's so tiny that it fits in a girl's pocket, and now that it does video, it's versatile. This is the one I recommend to my sisters. I have two stocking stuffer suggestions I wasn't able to get my hands on. One is a book light that charges via USB in 3 hours. The light is LED, and it can double as a keyboard light. It even has an interchangeable clip system. One slides onto the page and the other clips onto something thicker like the Kindle. The light rotates 180 degrees in 2 directions. The rechargeable USB book light is made by Brando, the company that's famous for making all those wacky USB-powered warming devices. This one is practical enough to buy. The only golf I've really ever played has been on the Wii, but this USB device takes mini golf to a new extreme. It's called the USB Putt Returner, and it includes 2 tiny putters, 6 tiny balls, and a hole you can sink the putt in. It'll return the ball once you've sunk the putt. Sunk the putt? Did I really get the terminology right? Looking at the size of the tiny hole, it looks really challenging. Also, the phrase 6 tiny balls seems so Christmassy, doesn't it? Someone should register 6tinyballs.com at GoDaddy.com using my promo code GB1. Now, let's get to my stocking. Ooh, what's in here? The rest of my choices come from what seems like a really fun company called Boynq, B-O-Y-N-Q. Ooh, this is fun. It's a USB hub with 4 ports called the Haspel. The retractable cable is magnetically shielded, and it's about a yard long. It looks like an alarm clock, and it works like a fishing reel. And it sounds like a party toy! It comes in black and white, and I find it to be really useful as an occasional hub. You can reel it in, stick it in a desk drawer, and not worry about tangled wires. Only pull it out when you need the extra ports. Now, it doesn't stand up very well because it doesn't have a lot of weight. This is the delight. It's a USB-powered LED lamp with a quirky little orange shade. The flexible metal cable only adds to the quirk factor. It has an on and off switch too. This is the Boynq Mistral. It uses the same flex cable as the Delight. It's a really nice stocking stuffer for the hot-natured person in your life. When we get to a hotel room, the first thing Neil does is turn on the air conditioner. The second thing he does is plug in the USB fan. During that time, I pull out my sweater. This Mistral fan rotates 10,000 times per minute. If your fingers get in the blades, it stops spinning. It's made out of soft neoprene so that it doesn't hurt when your fingers get in the way. It also has a nice little LED light right in the middle. My favorite USB stocking stuffer is this one. It's called Toast It. 10 points to anybody who can guess why. Toast It is my favorite because it's the most useful. It's a 7-in-1 card reader. You get compact flash 1 and 2, micro drive, XD, multimedia card, microstick, and SD. It's functional, and it's also the most beautifully designed card reader I've ever seen. For those of you who don't have a pastel purple side, it also comes in black. There's so much more fun USB stuff out there, and USB gadgets make ideal stocking stuffers. I'm putting a list of some of my favorite websites where you can get more USB ideas in the show notes for this episode at geekbrief.tv. If you have a favorite, leave a comment. I'm Callie Lewis. Thanks for watching. It's a really nice stocking stuffer for the hot person, for that hot person in your life. Say hot Persian. Bad coffee, bad. 2 tiny putters, 6 tiny balls, and a hole you can sink the putt in. Ooh, that was bad, but...
It's 6 tiny balls?
No. 2 tiny putters, 6 tiny balls, and a hole you can sink the putt in.
Do it.
It includes 2 tiny, okay, it includes 2 tiny putters, 6 tiny holes. No. It includes
tiny balls.
It includes 2 tiny putters, 6 tiny balls, and a hole you can sink the putt in.